everything about
Like a,
to be part of it. You know, you're able to.
yeah.
No, I'm saying that is the instrument that's going to connect you. What he's saying to you is the instrument that's going to connect you, but you're not going to achieve success and impact unless you do that.
Right.
Your success is specifically tied to them, not to you, not to us sitting here, like somebody over there, and you have to make the connection. In order for you to make the connection, you have to have the activity of posting and then being real and authentic and out there. But it is your success, but your success
because
is through them.
so it is about my success because I don't want to be where I'm at right now. I want, I want wealth. I want my own place. I want the independence. I want the freedom. I want the impact. I can't say that the impact is the number one thing that I want.
But I think
yeah,
your success is tied to them, though. It's just a different way of framing it in your mind.
Right.
So that way you can
to make an impact. Right. Yeah. So I have to get to the place where
or your own success.
Right.
Yeah. Your own
Well,
success.
part of it is, I think you talking about that, like what you want, like what you just said,
Right.
is powerful because a lot of people in your situation wouldn't even have the courage to like say that. You might be thinking like, I wish I had this, but they don't like go out and say it. And so that in itself creates a lot of like, people that builds up their courage a little bit. But the more you get it out,
Right.
the more likely that
I want
it'll
that.
play.
I want to
So I'm sitting over here quietly in video land. But I wrote something this morning in a text with a friend, and it just so applies to the conversation that we're having right now. And I just thought I'd share it with you guys if that's okay.
Perfect.
And I did create a YouTube channel, by the way, this last week, and I signed up for an Instagram as well. So that's all new to me.
Nice.
But I'm identifying I'm new to all of this. But so this is the text I sent my friend. I'm watching Andrew Huberman and Jordan Peterson. By the way, they have 3 million views in a video that's 3 months old. Guys I've spent a lot of time listening to. And I wrote to my friend, affirming the idea that I have a responsibility to articulate the biblical truth of recovery. Which is my sweet spot, by the way. Like many biblical personalities, I also feel overwhelmed and unequipped for the task. Seems to be exactly where I need to be, dependent on God. Sounds simple, but a deep truth when it comes to my personal sense of responsibility to make a difference. So I think that just that idea of, and while we're having this conversation too, this idea is resonating for me about like visually something that I can see is like a physical transformation or a fitness transformation. But I think what we're talking about is a moral, psychological, professional, spiritual transformation that's impactful, and it affects people's lives in such a way that they're drawn to the message. And so by the way, I can see your courage from here. It's awesome. So I just wanted to kind of interject that thought. It was resonating with that.
Awesome, man. Thanks for that. Yeah.
So two other things come to mind for me. So I envision you sometimes when you first get to your desk, maybe when you first pull up at home, you probably are thinking to yourself, getting your mindset ready for what's about to happen next, whether it's making phone calls or I wonder what mom's going to want when I walk in the door. Right. So those are things people could also relate to, just that experience of
I'm not going home until she
transition
goes
to
to
the
sleep.
next.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and that could also be part of that. You know what? I wish I go home right now, but I also don't want to do this.
Because I have my stuff to take care of,
Right.
Well,
So I mean, that's also very raw and
Right.
very real.
it is.
The other side of going through this journey is that many women could relate to is what about dating? What all of the things that go into finding someone different, or the experiences that go into just trying something different than what you had, and all that can be a whole conversation. Of
Yeah,
these.
That's not looking for that right now because I need to be up here before I can meet somebody at my level.
And
So
that's
I'm
probably
not
something
interested really.
people can still relate to that.
Right.
I'm not looking for this
Right.
because
But there's this,
I
that, and the
feel
other
like
thing,
it.
and yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That's really, really vulnerable and really putting yourself like way out there,
I-
Yeah.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, after you.
I think that this accountability thing that we were talking about would probably be very helpful for you. Because if you're accountable to the group where you have to, like, I'm thinking part of the itinerary or the structure is that we all basically do a video maybe twice a day, 2 or 3 times a day, saying this, saying that, and that would be the opportunity for you to do that. Because are you doing that currently?
Not
Like
as
on a
much.
regular basis?
To me, I video myself sometimes. I don't know really
What
what
is
I'm saying.
sometimes?
I don't know. There's probably a good 20 videos of
So like today, maybe 2 days from now, maybe.
yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do it every day, but
Yeah, I mean, the plan that I was gonna give you is kind of like to start, just kind of like what I, every morning I do the AI news thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Just, it'll just be like a series of questions, like, that we could just give you, and if you have nothing, like no way to answer it,
Right.
you don't have to answer it, but there may be some that you could have.
Absolutely.
And then just the other times where something big happens and you feel like I should record this, and just do that too.
Right.
And then at least every day you give some sort of update, which most likely will probably be the thing. Yeah.
So during the garage sale, there was all kinds of stuff I wanted, like, and last night too, I was throwing stuff away and taking out the trash cans, whatever, and I wanted to take a video of that, but I can't do both,
No, but
I
you
guess
can, but,
it's like something
but the next morning you could reflect, hey,
Right,
yesterday,
right.
so what happened yesterday? I had this yard sale, yesterday I had an epiphany. I was
Right.
throwing stuff away, that's a big thing, right? So, yeah. Yeah. something
But
like
I'm
that.
in a totally different spot, like the next day, and
But you can still
Right,
tell
yeah.
the story.
You're absolutely right.
You don't have to be like in the emotion, like, you know what I mean? But people
Or you
probably
take a
like it.
picture.
But,
Right.
Take a
Right,
picture then record
Yeah,
what
it's-
the
Yeah.
picture was about.
right.
And Victor would be a cool thing. Maybe you could do a prayer every day or something, or some kind of a God's word or biblical rehab, or I don't know, anything that has to do with that. I think you would have an unlimited amount of things that you could say too, and then probably draw in a lot of people.
I imagine you have a daily thought already, but when you
Yeah, and just from the conversation like between Peterson and Huberman today, like that I was listening to today, like they tap in to the deepest, like this dopamine source. They tap into a lot of the things that we talked about in our podcast as well. Of course, I'm at a much more basic level given Peterson's psychological background and then Huberman's neurological background. But to a lot of the things they were discussing are things that I tie in with scripture and from a biblical perspective. So yeah, it's I think I'm excited. I'm very optimistic about the opportunity to be able to do this. I'm like was just shared too, like some of the logistics of it. I think I just need to get in reps and just start doing it. So
Victor, what's your goal in terms of doing this? Why are you doing this?
yeah, so that's such a good question. It's interesting, like the views, I don't know how, like I know one of them has like 1,700 views, the shorts that you guys have generated in that. It's like a combination, it's probably approaching close to 5,000, but
You didn't do anything. You generated it.
well, so I shared with a friend last night. I said, I think our conversation was, for me, it was very rich and very impactful. And I think I've gotten really good feedback, especially from people that I've shared it with, the video with, and I think for me, the core is to stay dialed in to the fact that I've experienced a transformative, like I have something internally that I know to be true and real for myself that I believe can be true and it's accessible to others. And so what really drives me is I don't see YouTube or Instagram or views or those kinds of things as a way of being famous. What I want to be famous is the message of hope that I carry. And I think that at its very core it'll keep me right sized in the midst of all of this, like because I would love to be able to monetize the ministry that we're working on. I'd love for that to happen, and this certainly could be a pathway to that. But I think staying grounded to the purpose of pointing to the source of the strength, that it's beyond me, it's bigger than me. The source of my transformation is not something that I could have done on my own, and recognizing that, acknowledging it, and keeping that at the forefront of my mind, and purposeful in that as well. So, and then making it accessible to others. I think that's really the sense of responsibility to carry a message and to share it with others is really what's motivating me.
Cool, man.
You can't spell message without me. And what a message is me for the rest of the ages. Messages. Anyway, go ahead.
Nice.
Or sage.
Or sage, yes. Me and sage.
Yes.
Me carrying sage as message.
Or a mess.
Or a mess.
Or mess. Usually it has to have, you have to be a mess before you can be a sage.
That's true.
So that's a good one, right? Record that one.
Hey, just to go back to Pam real quick, so do you have a target date when you're actually gonna start posting? I'm very curious because I want to watch it.
Yeah, I will need to, go with one of you guys or all of you guys to help me with editing,
Okay.
and I want to do along. I want to be able to, go out there and say, okay, this is who I am. I got divorced however many months ago. These are the challenges I face. This is what my work life is like, my social life, my relationship with my kids, and how that's been affected. Like, there's so many things I want to kind of do along. I think you told me that.
Like a long
Yeah,
form?
yeah.
Okay.
To start with, just to give them like a little bit of
Okay.
history, and like I was married for however, so just
Mhm.
I think I'll start with that, and
Okay.
then have you guys look at it. Yeah, I'm getting close. I don't want to commit to a date yet.
Yeah.
Unless you give me one, I have to. Then
How about
Yeah.
next Monday?
yeah, we'll see. My weeks are very, very, very busy and a little bit unpredictable.
What if you had like a sign on, like, this is Pam, your your Phoenix, or I don't know,
Right,
the
right, right.
rebirth, the divorcee,
Right.
rebirth, or but have like I'm Scotty, the sandwich maker. So this is the sandwich for today. So it kind of like primes people.
She's Pam I am.
Pam I am. Yeah, but that's very open. So Pam I am a divorcee making it big, or who's decided that I'm gonna take the lemons and make lemonade, or I'm just saying, think about it. Maybe it could be something to preface. So when people hear it, they're like, oh, the people that are going through a divorce, or what, instead of them scrolling, they're gonna hear that and go, what else does she have to say? Or what can I, something punchy though,
Pam's
not like
personal-
a long
Pam's
description.
personal.
Here's my honest opinion about what's been shared. If you are waiting until you have the intro video ready, you're not gonna post until Thanksgiving. That's my impression. Okay. So keep that long form video project in mind and keep working at it. But I think there are some certain things you can start immediately. Like question of the day. I don't know. I have no idea because I'm married, but what do divorced people want to ask about? What are some common questions they have in mind? I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure you can find it, right? So it's just like, hey, this is Pam with whatever marketing tagline Scott is suggesting, or whatever you come up with. And then say, just like, it's like daily video, right? These are short videos. It's not long form, but can you just answer one question? That's it, because I think the reason why I'm suggesting this is because after I started posting, I had to make so many pivots every single day, because they're just saying that you can't learn how to drive with a parked car. You have to start driving, and then as you drive, you learn, right? So get something started, and then you're gonna find a lot more feedback as you're going along. And it doesn't have to be fancy editing. You don't even have to edit anything, pretty much. You record, it's like a one take, 20-second bite, and then you upload it. And then I know first time is very scary. You just click on the submit. And then I know Scotty doesn't like watching himself in the video, but I highly, highly, highly recommend you watch it, And then, hey, okay, you don't have to do it every single day. Just do it regularly, like twice a week, 3 times a week, however many that it's your schedule, right?
On all platforms and all social media.
One video upload is same as 10 video upload. It's just same click of a button. You can just send it everywhere. But the important thing is get it into the habit of doing it so much, it's just, you don't have to feel burdened or pressure to do it. Like first 5-7 videos that I uploaded, I was like, oh shit, that's here we go. How many views is gonna get? Like right now, it's my 37th one, and I'm like, I don't even think about it. Hey, people like it, people like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. It's just like getting in the momentum and habit of it, and just kind of keep it going, while keeping that longer form video project in mind. It will help you with that.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So that's great feedback, by the way. So I just wonder if, in your experience, have you discovered that, and I keep going back to fitness transformation because visually that's an easy one to like identify. But of course, we're talking about professional, relational, spiritual transformation, those kinds of things that are inspiring to others as well. So, but I just wonder, when I think about the fitness transformation, let's say somebody did a 90-day push-up challenge or something, and the idea of starting with 3 or 5 push-ups and then getting to 20, then getting to 2 sets of 20, and this, like, I think it seems to me that staying true to the core of the exercise creates intrigue and interest on behalf of the audience or the viewership. And I'm just wondering if you guys could give some feedback on that. What I mean is, like, I know that for me, I need to stay committed to my recovery and my sobriety and my journey, because without that, I don't have a message. Like there is. So I just wonder for Pam, like Pam, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I just wonder, like, and this is just I'm not a professional at this, but I'm learning and I want to learn, but it just seems like staying true to the core of the message of who we are just as people is the thing that's going to hook viewership. Like that's the thing that's going to be attractive for people and cause and elevate people's interest to the point of following you and staying with you and seeing the transformation, so that in 90 days, in 6 months, you're doing 2 sets of 100 push-ups, if you will, like whatever internally it is for you, that's that if it's psychological fortitude, if it's relational skill set, if it's you're tapping into dating again, or whatever it is, like it's like whatever it is. I'm sorry.
It's everything. It's
Yeah.
the brand new me,
Yeah, exactly. So in each of those areas of the journey, I think it's cool to stay, like for me, I feel like I need to stay centered on getting in the reps, like stay true to the core of what's happening internally, and then allowing that the technology and the camera and all those things to just be a source of capturing that or documenting that historically. So
Yeah, I mean, it's actually really simple when you think about it. It's just that you're looking for a core audience that has the end goal that's similar to what you're talking about. So whoever, like, it doesn't matter what it is. If it like you're talking about digital marketing, or if you're talking about making money, or if you're talking whatever, you're finding that audience that wants that as the end result. So they're willing to follow 2 types of people: somebody that's already accomplished it so they can learn, or somebody that's going through it so they can learn. That's all they want to know. But as long as the end result is the same path, then that's what people are gonna end up watching. You know what I mean? So right. So like, Pam, if she's targeting people who've just gone divorced, trying to get their life straightened together and create a like version 2 of life, or chapter 2,
Reinventing, right?
then she will appeal to them. You know what I
What's
mean?
that?
Pam 2.0.
That might be that's actually kind of, yeah.
I actually like that a lot.
I want
Because-
50%.
because in the name it is alluding to that like the phoenix, the reincarnation.
But also when you say 2.0, it's kind of like a techie term,
Right.
which is kind of interesting because it's
Right,
going
right.
to the tech. So, yeah, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, think about that.
0.5%. I'm not greedy. 0.5%.
You'll get with it. I'm just-
Are you listening to everything? Am I the only one making the connections here? Of him saying 90 days,
Yeah.
I knew
fitness,
you were gonna
message.
no, that's why I kept it quiet.
Yeah, I'm like, my brain's going, like literally we're talking about all the stuff that you're saying.
I'll put it in the show notes. Stop it.
Yeah, you just happen to bring up 90-day fitness, what, I don't know.
Yeah, we're planning to do through Trajectory like a 90-day challenge, but more almost like a documentary reality type thing where basically it's us, I guess. And then we're going to go through, each one of us is going to go through some sort of growth process, but it's going to be documented. And we want to do this as like a, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. But Scotty particularly is doing one for fitness and health. So in a 90-day challenge. So that's like exactly
Right.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
But
I want to play.
yeah, so that's the thing.
Lots of
Thank you for that. So this is the thing, synchronicity, right? Because Jason was talking about, so that was the original idea, but then Jason's like, well, we all have different goals that we're trying to accomplish. So instead of it all being the fitness, supplementation, activity, and diet, Jason's is, personal branding. Sam's is also probably, I don't know, whatever Sam decides that
Oh,
is.
my journey to become a cult leader.
There you
Become
go.
a what? What was it?
A cult leader.
Oh, okay.
In an orthodox way. I'm not deviating. I'm not deviating from my faith in God. No, absolutely not. It's like a tongue-in-cheek sort of a term.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be careful when you offer me juice.
Hey, a quick idea for both Victor and Pam. One catchy phrase. Hey, Victor, are you you went through AA meeting?
Yes.
Do you still have like a medal or coin or token that they give you after X number of days?
Chips. Yes.
Yeah. So if you are to create short video, I don't know, daily or 3 times a week, I don't know your schedule, but every time you open your short video saying, hey, today is my 1237th day of sobriety. And then you start your message. Next video will be a different number, but that will immediately like hook people in, I think. And for Pam, same idea. Today is 68 days since my divorce. And then you get into that message. Just an idea. You don't have to take it, but I think it's something that will draw people out.
No,
Great idea.
because it'll target the right people for sure. Yeah, if you do that on the shorts. That's a good idea.
Nice. I love it. That's good.
100%.
Now pour some juice. No, just kidding.
No, that's great. But him saying his message of God and biblical rehabilitation and all of that, I think is a powerful message as well that will reach a bunch of people
I think so.
that need to be reached.
Yeah.
That need to be reached, like really, So I just awesome, dude.
And then I'm
Thank you,
pretty sure, I said cult leader, but my main theme is about restoring masculinity overall. So it's not about distorted or diluted masculinity, as society says, about you have to have a lot of money, or you have to be a womanizer, or you have to be not that kind. But my focus is about traditional masculine values, traditional family values, and leadership and purpose. So I'm pretty sure Victor and I can work together down the line. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's powerful. I like that.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the goals is we need to at least get some stuff going, because I have a feeling if we do it right through the trajectory, through these stories, like introducing the characters, that it can elevate each individual's brand too. So like, we should have something already set up,
Yeah. And Victor, you need to send me your YouTube channel so I can update my show notes. But hey,
Okay.
find more about Victor, check out his YouTube channel here.
And see,
Yeah.
he's on Telegram? He's on Telegram, right?
I don't think so.
No?
I know Greg and Jeff are.
Okay, so we need to invite, so we have a Telegram channel, and like, if you have something that you posted and you want us to check out, if we can like and comment and subscribe to your channel, we just support each other on that channel.
Okay. How can we exchange all like the contact, like the digital contacts and all that good stuff?
On Telegram.
And we can do it on that channel, so we'll send you that link and then we can share it all in there.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
By the way, I just want to share like that, Scotty and Jason, when we were talking about the warrior in the garden, that message has resonated in my spirit, man. I've been in deep devotional study on that topic. So if there's an environment that you guys see where we want to maybe expand on that conversation a little bit, I just want to make myself available to do that.
What about it?
This conversation ends at 1 o'clock.
As I said.
Well,
the meaning of life. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer.
yeah. So the 15-second elevator pitch would be tapping into the heart of the warrior in order to experience the plan of God. I mean, Jesus as the ultimate warrior, making the ultimate sacrifice in the ultimate expression of obedience to the Father. Like, I mean, that is rich. I mean, that it just, it's a very deep thing. So, yeah, that's my quick pitch on it.
Okay,
You were
we'll talk later then.
Victor, you were a guest for episode 11. I think maybe we can work in episode 20s. We can have you back, have you come back and share a little bit more in depth. I think that deserves the platform.
Okay, I'm open.
Cool. So, what's your plan for this week?
Tweak the scripts a little bit so it can merge the popular trendy topics along with my review theme in terms of what I want to do. Also, I want to explore a couple other platforms, not like social posting, but I want to check out Reddit and Substack a little bit more in terms of how I can utilize that more longer form written posts. So I'm gonna kind of check it out.
Well, a few things. One is I'm working on an elevator pitch for one of the things I'm passionate about. The other is I'm starting a series of lectures tomorrow, so I'll get some recording out of that on financial expertise, financial issues, and getting educated in the direction how to fix that.
Awesome.
I'm going to be doing a daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, if we can come up with some questions, that'll be the
Yeah,
plan.
that'd be
Can we just
great.
just start off with that. That'll be cool.
Some questions.
I'm gonna get this. Well, the realistic thing that I'm gonna do is have which I know goes against the authenticity thing, but I've thought about it, and it's more important for the message that somebody's gonna get that it will all be okay than it is for it to be delivered by Scotty. It's more of the message than it is the person. So I'm going to get that stupid automation dialed in. It's one little thing that I have to tweak that's taking me forever to figure out. But as soon as I do, like every time I test it out, the message is pretty cool. It comes out and then there's a little bit of tweaky hand gestures or whatever, just minimal. But at the end of the talk, every single time it says, but just remember, it'll all be okay. Right. And it'll have like, okay, well,
You gotta show a sample video. I want to see.
yeah, okay. I have a shit ton of them because every time I do it, I have to generate a new one to try to send it to everything.
Did you ever reshoot a sample video like the one that you trained it with, or no? Is it still this one?
No, it's a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You gotta show them the original.
Oh yeah, it's like, and then, but I want to have that dialed in, so I'm gonna do probably 2 a day, and then just post it, just put them out there, and then they're short, 20 to 25 second snippets. It's not a big long story. It's just to the point, and the messages. It'll all be okay, and that way it'll just get out there. Just because maybe somebody will be scrolling, and maybe it'll resonate. It'll all be okay, you know.
I know this is probably a basic question, but that's where I'm at. Are you posting on Instagram and YouTube, and are there other platforms that you're also posting on?
So we're like, it kind of depends on your audience, but I mean, right now we're really focused mostly on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then we do X also. So we post on X. But I mean, really, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But as far as discovery goes, the short form video is what captures like a new audience. The other stuff is really kind of like leveraging your own audience. So you kind of have to think about that. All of us are trying to get like a new audience, so that's why we're focused on the short form stuff. And really, it's really like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube that are like the main ones that are bringing in new audiences.
Okay, and then I think I noticed that Facebook and Instagram interconnect at some point. You could post to one, it'll post to both. Are there any others that are also interconnected?
You can use a scheduler, and you can post to all platforms by uploading it just once. But it is true that if you want to connect them with Instagram and Facebook, the important distinction is that if you want to post on a Facebook that is in conjunction with Instagram, you have to have a Facebook page, not a personal profile. So if you haven't made a Facebook page for your personal branding, you need to do that. Otherwise, it's not gonna post it on your personal profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about tech stuff. We'll help you out.
And also
Appreciate
it's also kind of dependent on like what the long-term goal is, right? If you're trying to convert them, like if you're a business or trying to convert them to something, at the end of the day, YouTube is the best conversion option. So so sometimes it may make sense to just go all in on YouTube instead of like doing all the rest of them. Even though I post everywhere, that's kind of my mentality right now, is I'm kind of heavy on YouTube and actually X, but YouTube is still the main number one because that's where the long form stuff is. And that's where people really decide to like want to either follow you or work with you, is when they have the chances like watch an hour of you or something like that. These stuff is kind of just discovery, but then those long videos is what really sells them on whatever you're trying to, send them towards. So.
Okay. And then just for the sake of understanding this, so the personal branding is monetization kind of at the core of this for us? Like, is that what we're striving for? Like, and is YouTube the best platform for that, or is that possible across multiple platforms?
YouTube is it's possible on all platforms to monetize, but the core is to be able to monetize. Some of us like already have like an instant like idea of how to monetize. Some of us don't. But the end goal is to build the audience so that if you have the opportunity to monetize or when you want to do it, you don't have to reinvent the wheel or start from scratch. You already have an audience that you can just promote your product or your service or your book or whatever it is at the time. We're building the audience to sell to, essentially.
So, and then in just a little bit of the research I've done, is the first goal to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is that like the first step toward doing that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What I found is it's kind of like a few tiers. It's like once you get about like 100 to 200, then you see a little bit of a faster pace. And then I think literally it's 10,000. Once you get to 10,000, I rarely see people hover around 10,000 for very long. If they're consistent, usually once they hit that number, it starts like you see the hockey stick effect. It's kind of like a slow ride to 1,000, and then you'll see like 2,000, 3,000. Once that 10,000 hit, and I've seen multiple content creators and people that teach this stuff always talk about the 10,000 mark. So you're trying to hit 10,000. But the thing is, for monetization, it really depends, because if you're like saying you're like a high ticket like coach or something, it doesn't you don't require 10,000 to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? If you're a very niche business, like you can have like 10 views, but if it's the 10 of the right people, really you can make money like today. You know what I mean? So it's kind of two different things. They're talking about YouTube monetization, which is like trying to make money from YouTube paying you. And then one of it is monetization with your own business or service. It's two different things, because you don't need a huge audience to make money from social media. Like just from the few posts that I did, I put like my Calendly link, and I put like a link for them to download a free PDF. But I've already had 6 meetings with people, and I haven't really been trying to get a ton of views on all these things yet. So, if it's, whatever you're trying to sell or pitch, it doesn't require that much to get some people interested, as long as like the message is like aligned with what they're looking for.
Good point. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so I guess that's it. For me, I've had the kind of the epiphany of a easy way to shorten my message. So that's going to be the new like kind of focus. I also have a good video that you'll like. It's called "Authenticity is the Root of All Evil." So,
That sounds captivating.
yeah. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to be continuing kind of retooling of kind of the videos that I already recorded to kind of fit the message, and yeah, and then we'll go from there.
Right on.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Cool. See you next
All right.
time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. All right. Thanks.